Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and this is a brand new all brass Sesamee padlock. And you can see that this is actually a small format interchangeable core padlock, all brass, 45mm wide, very, very nice looking. The core inside, this actually didn't come with the lock, but I had a spare brand new brass SFIC core and I just could not resist putting it into this all brass lock. I didn't realise that Sesamee, which I believe is a Taiwanese brand, were established in 1882, but I actually really like their locks, so yes, I quite like the fact that they are an established company. The keyway it's semi-paracentric, but it's actually quite open in some ways. And of course you have two keys for these locks with completely different bitting. There we go. And you have an operating key, which will release a shackle. And you have the control key, which operates a different shear line in the lock and retracts a catch on the core itself. And then you hear that click, and then you can pull the whole thing out. That means you can hot swap all the cores, quick change all the locks, all the keys in a suite of locks very, very quickly. Really cool system. You can see here the little catch which operates on a different shear line. In fact, this whole sort of piece is a catch and an inner sheath to this lock, which provides two different shear line heights. So very, very cool. If you want to know where this catch locks into, you can see it is only about 12mm in, maybe about a third of an inch, and that aligns with this part of the lock. There we go. And that's where that catch engages with, just behind where the pick is there. So it just catches behind this part of that figure of 8. You'll see that there are two prongs inside. That is essentially what the core attaches to the actuator with, and there you go. You see the holes at the back. Retract the catch, put in the core, move it back. There we go. We are fully operational again. And yeah, it's got a ball bearing mechanism in. Very cool, very, very nice lock. Really, really like this one. All right, let's vice this up and pick it. So here we are in the vise. Now this is a very unpredictable lock. It has ever so slight tapers on the pins, which means it hangs up and it's a right pain. So here's the control key and the operating key. You can see the different bittings there. I'm going to try and pick it to control so that the core will come out, give us full access to the lock. Works just as well the operating key. To pick it, I'm going to use top of the keyway tension using this Mad Bob's 1.2mm pry bar. That's nice to top of the keyway tension. I've got a tensioner for the bottom of the keyway for fancy swapping over. I've got a Peterson Gem in 18,000th just to change things up again if I fancy that. And I've got a Sparrows Lunatic, which is absolutely phenomenal, just like the Peterson Gem. Love them both. I reckon we should just get in there and pick it. Now, you might see me pick through this a few times, drop the pins, pick through a few times, drop the pins. It's just because, like I said, it's a slightly unpredictable lock. It hangs up a lot. When you've picked it, it doesn't mean it's actually opened. Yeah, you just got to bear with it. So, going through, getting the tension just right. Good. Right, here we go. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 little click, 1 little click. Nice. That's pin 3 there. Good. Don't feel pin 1's been picked. Oh, I've got pin 1 now. Good, good, good. I'm just going to go in with a gem. Have a feel around, see what we'll find. Oh, and we have an open. Look at that. Probably one of the fastest opens I've had on this. Now, this is, remember, the control. So that means I can pull the core out. There we go. And it isn't sprung, this core. And if you wonder how, once you've got the core out, here it is. So once you've got that out, there we go. If you wonder how we can open this up, see these two prongs where the back of the core fits? What we can do is just put in something like this tension tool, trap the two prongs like that, and turn. There we go, we have an open. So that's why picking to control is probably the a pretty good technique. Now I'm going to try gutting this, and I have to tell you, this is not pleasant at all. Here is my follower. Yep, it's a completely non-standard format. This the LFIC, SFIC, yeah. So what I need to do is be very careful how I gut this thing, and it isn't pleasant. In fact, it's pretty unpleasant picking it, and it's pretty unpleasant gutting it. Okay, so get the circlip off, and then really, once we got the circlip off, we just need to get a key in there and the follower. So where's my operating key? There it is. Got the operating key, and without the tailpiece, it actually needs to, there you go, it needs to be retracted slightly back, because the tailpiece actually, the circlip actually restricts the key from moving forwards too much. So I'm going to turn it towards me, so the pins are at the top, and I'm going to, there we go, that should be okay, and push this out using this pen, which is, by the way, absolutely in every way exactly the right size. I was so frustrated the other day trying to put this back together, purely because, well, you'll see, it is an absolute nightmare to put back together. And the reason why most people don't disassemble these locks unless they have a specialist piece of equipment. So to do so, let's pop in the key pins. There's 7 of them, of course. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ooh, almost 7. Good. Right, put that over here. Now the hard bit, of course, is the fact that because this is effectively master wafered, some of those wafers are extraordinarily thin, like really thin, and those are not only hard to get back out of the lock, but they are really, really hard to put back in again. Okay, so the other thing is that this slides out, so you've got to keep sort of a finger on the back, so that when you finally get to pin 7, you don't slide the entire inner sheath out and then mess up all the springs. So here's the 2 parts to pin 1. Pin 2. Stack 3. You can already see one of these little wafers there. This one is reversed, so you have a tiny, teeny wafer on top. Keep going. Oh, there he is. He just sprung out at me. Okay, so yeah, I found that little wave. I had to pause because I dropped it, and yeah, I found that eventually. This little one here. The problem with these, like, they're not I guess they're wafers. They're short driver pins. Is that they are so hard to find if you drop on a carpet. But anyway, we got there in the end, and what I've done is I've aligned all the pins as they would appear in the lock. So actually, I suppose it would be this way round, running from pin 1 to 7 here. And what you'll see is that you have equal heights of all the pins all together. Okay, not pin the key pin plus driver pin 1. That isn't an equal height, not at all. It's just that when the key is inserted plus the height of either the key pin alone or the key pin plus the first wafer, depending, needs to just clear this first shear line to basically operate the lock, and the second shear line, which I'll show you here, to operate the control mechanism. So what you need to do is you need to engage with this moving latch here without the pins going too far and oversetting into the Bible. So yeah, I'm sure there's many better videos to explain how these SFIC cores work, but there you go. So yeah, it's one of these locks which is very unpredictable. I've had 10-minute picking times, I've had 2-minute picking times, and it's all to do with these bevels on the pins. We got lucky this time, apart from springing one of the wafers out, but the worst is to come. Repiecing this back together is an absolute nightmare, because what you have to do is push 2 driver pins down into each chamber at the same time. Not fun. Anyway, I guess you'll leave that up to me, and I'll leave you alone. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.